Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
The sun is shining. It's another gorgeous night for baseball as the Milwaukee Brewers and the Reds renew rivalries here at Great American Ballpark, and all the action's coming up on Fox Sports Ohio. And hi again, everyone. Welcome in to Reds Baseball alongside Chris Welsh, Jim Day. Welcome to Bowtie Tuesday. Reds will try to even up this three-game set at a game apiece tonight. They certainly scored enough runs to win last night, led by Eugenio Suarez.
It's nice to have him back and swinging the bat well. He's got a nice compact swing. He's quick to the hitting zone. I've always liked the way he approaches the game. And, you know, last night he went 2 for 4 at a double. He drove in some big runs for the Reds last night. But he's just part of the story. When you get him enforcing the lineup from the right side, and then you're able to add Schebler in there, now you've got some diversity in that lineup.
Speaking of Schebler, it was a very slow start to the season offensively, but when you get Suarez and Schebler back from the DL, man, it makes a difference.
You know, the guy hits the ball extremely hard. I mean, talk to the analytics crew here with the Reds, and they'll tell you the Schebler hits the ball about as hard as anybody on this team this side of Joey Votto. I mean, he's big, he's strong. He's an unusual left-handed hitter because he likes the ball up in the zone rather than down in the zone. And those two guys together in the lineup give the opposing pitcher really something to contend with.
It's opening day starter versus opening day starter tonight, and for the Brewers, they'll give the ball to Chase Anderson.
You know, he's kind of a garden right-hander, except he's got an extremely good changeup. Ever since he came over to the Brewers, he's been a guy from the Arizona Diamondbacks. He has had the best changeup in their organization. He throws a four-seam fastball, not all that hard, but he throws it up and out of the zone. He's having an interesting year. He's given up 7 home runs this year. That is the most by anybody in the National League. But his whip, his walks and hits together, divided by innings pitched, are still top 10 in the league. So he gives up home runs, but they're solo shots.
If there's anyone that's due for a victory, perhaps it is Homer Bailey.
Well, he also is probably due to go a little deeper into the game. He was taken out after 50-something pitches a couple of starts ago. He didn't go all that deep into the game last time because he was pinch hit for. So I think that Homer Bailey is a guy that feels like he could go deeper into the game if the Reds just get him a few runs with which to work. That's the missing ingredient right now, a little run support.
Well, another lineup shuffle tonight for Jim Riggleman. When we come back, Shannon Ford will have that story warming you up for the Reds and the Brew Crew.
soreness, one of the many changes to the lineup as of late. Take a listen to what Jim Riggleman had to say about the changes to the lineup.
It really shouldn't matter where you're hitting. You're competing with that pitcher, and sometimes you'll hear guys talk about I'm more comfortable here or somewhere else, and it's really should be a non-issue. No matter where you hit in the order, you got to compete against that pitcher, and there's going to be RBI spots coming up. I think there will probably throughout the year, based on injuries and based on our outfield rotation, we're always going to have a lot of different lineups.
No matter who's in the lineup tonight, what a great place to watch the game right here in the Fox Sports Ohio Club, where they're serving up some mouth-watering dishes, all included in the purchase of your ticket. Now, tonight, Fox Sports Ohio would like to thank you for making us the regional sports network of the year. As part of our appreciation, your Greater Cincinnati Northern Kentucky dealers are bringing you a great Reds ticket offer for the next 2 series of the homestand. Visit reds.com/FSOhio tonight. When you buy 1 Fox Sports Ohio Club ticket, Toyota will give you 1 free. The offer is only good through Reds Live at the end of the night, and this is one heck of a deal, so you're going to want to log on and get those tickets. It's basically 2 for 1, guys. Now, when we come back, Jim and Chris will have first pitch with Reds versus Brewers in Game 2.
12 News meteorologist John Gum. Great weather again tonight for baseball in Cincinnati. Almost a summer feel to the air, minus the humidity. Low humidity. First pitch will be in the upper 70s, falling into the low 70s by the final out. Mainly clear skies expected for tonight's game. Enjoy it right here on Fox Sports Ohio.
Homer Bailey about to make his team-high 7th start of the season and career appearance and start 199. He's faced the Brewers a ton. 27th career appearance and start versus the Brewers tonight, but his first this season. Here's how Craig Counsell will line them up. Lineup's brought to you by Nissan. Lorenzo Cain will lead off. Christian Yelich batting second. Braun, Shaw, Jesus Aguilar getting the start at first base tonight. Manny Pena back behind the plate. VR at second base. The shortstop is Orlando Arcia. And batting ninth and pitching, Chase Anderson. And for Homer Bailey, home runs. Much like his counterpart tonight, Chase Anderson, home runs have been the bugaboo.
Well, home runs for Chase Anderson, he's given up 7 of them. Homer Bailey has given up 6 so far. And You know, home runs are now part of the game nowadays. I mean, hitters are trying to lift the ball more. The ballparks are smaller. There are a lot of reasons why home runs shouldn't hurt you if you don't have runners on base. So Homer's a guy that's throwing the ball extremely well. So far in the year, though, his best pitch as far as batting average against and keeping the ball in the ballpark is that split finger fastball. And I really believe as the weather gets warmer and the air is drier, it's a lot easier to get a good grip on that pitch and it's more effective. So I think Homer Bailey should, by all means, just get better and better, or at least stay as consistent as he's been so far.
Our Elkin Elk storyline tonight digs further into those home runs allowed. Chase Anderson, 9 of his 11 runs allowed via the home run. Bailey, 8 of 10. So on a warmer night here at Great American Ballpark, we'll see how it shakes out as Lorenzo Cain is in the box and Bailey is ready to deliver. Game 2 of a 3-game set. Thanks for joining us here on Fox Sports Ohio. Wind up in the pitch and it misses outside. And this game is underway. 81-degree game time temperature. That would be 8-1.
I've been waiting for you to say that.
I was just going to say, it has been a rarity to say anything even in the 70s, let alone 81. It was another gorgeous day here in the Queen City and a great night. And Bailey, a Texas guy, likes to pitch when it's hot. So hopefully that's been a factor tonight. But he's fallen behind 2-0 here to Lorenzo Cain. Popped up. Votto, foul territory, 1 out. Here's your 4 defensive lineup for the Reds. Duvall the start left field tonight. Hamilton in center field. Schebler in right. So no Jesse Winker in the starting lineup. Suarez, Peraza, Rosell Herrera gets his first big league start tonight at second base. Joey Votto, and behind the plate Tucker Barnhart. And there is Rosell Herrera, a guy that could play all over the infield and outfield. Very versatile guy. And here's Christian Yelich. Last night Yelich 2 for 5, scored a run. And that Brewers 6-5 victory over the Reds. 271 batter overall, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs, and a 350 on base percentage. Hard hit ball into right field. Over to get it is Schebler, and Yelich with a base hit and a 1-out base runner for Ryan Braun.
This guy can hit, and I think by the time you see him enough, and of course we will see him enough given the fact the Reds and the Brewers tee it up 18 or so times a year, and he'll be in this division for a long time. That's a good pitch by Bailey, an off-speed pitch. He went from mid-90s down to 87. Yelich went right down there to get it into right field.
Yelich now 3 for 8 in his career off of Bailey. And speaking about careers off of Bailey, Ryan Braun has been a trouble spot for Homer. 16 of 47, that's a 340 clip. 4 home runs, 9 RBIs off of Bailey.
Well, that is a difference maker pitch. First pitch of the at bat right there. If that goes to be a strike, I mean, it was a hair off the plate. It changes the entire at bat, puts Braun on the defensive.
Calling balls and strike, Mike Muchlinski. Crew Chief Mike Winters down at first, Tim Timmons at second, Rob Drake at third tonight.
And when I say the first pitch of the at bat is important, I mean, just look at the difference here for Homer Bailey. After he gets a first pitch strike in there, the batting average is less than 100. When he misses with the first pitch, it's up over 340.
That is a very telling stat right there.
You know, pitching coaches have been quoting stats like that for a long, long time. Of course, now there's a lot more metrics that go behind that. But bottom line is, when you go after the hitters early on, you put them on their heels rather than you having to pitch defensively. Got to make a good pitch here on a 2-0 count.
And Danny Darwin, the new pitching coach for the Reds, has been singing that. Not only getting ahead, but pitching more inside.
Boy, that's something that the Reds have not done over the last few years at all.
Yep.
And you have to do it. You know, half of that plate has got to belong to the pitcher. It's up to the hitter to figure out which half is his and which half is the pitcher's half.
Counts 2 balls and a strike to Ryan Braun. Braun 1 for 3 here last night. Scored a run, walked twice. Popped it up. Back and out of play. Count evens up at 2-2. Bailey would love a ground ball here. In fact, these two teams are double play prone teams. Each have grounded into 24 double plays, tied for first in the National League. There's the ground ball, but the only play is the first, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Washington Courthouse's own Travis Shaw. And Shaw going through a skid right now. He is hitless in his last 19 at-bats. Overall, 243 batter. Does have 14 runs driven in. 2 for 10 in his career off of Bailey. One-0 pitch inside. Rosell Herrera playing well onto the grass in short right field against the lefty Shaw.
You can see the strategy that Bailey and Barnhart are trying to employ right here is just take the power away, get him away from the barrel by getting that ball right under his hands. That's not an easy pitch to throw for a strike because the umpire is sitting right on that inside corner, and if you miss it out over the plate, there's a big, strong left-handed hitter waiting for it.
Strike call. 3-1. Bailey 21 strikeouts in 34 1/3 innings coming in. 11 walks. 3 of them intentional. 3-1 pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts, and we've gone full.
I think Shaw was guessing right there, and he was looking for something off speed, figuring that Bailey, after throwing a 3-0 fastball, nothing but fastballs in this at bat, was going to try to trick him with that off speed pitch.
Payoff pitch on the way. Off the glove of Barnhart, and Shaw stays alive. There's some wind blowing here tonight at Great American. Most of the time it's blowing out the left center field, and it's doing that tonight.
Right on down the river. Or should we say upriver?
It's on your perspective, I guess. 3-2 again. And the count holds right there. I guess that would be upriver.
Yeah, sure would be. Although there's some people that don't really care which way the river flows.
Yeah. I had to think about that for a minute. It takes me an extra couple of seconds in case you've noticed.
We'll get you dialed in here. Give him
we'll
a cup
be all
of
right.
coffee.
Long drive, and see you later. Halfway up the moon deck.
That was the breaking ball, the off-speed pitch that Travis Shaw, I think, was looking for on a 3-1 count. And he got it here after a fastball fouled back. And Bailey gives up a home run. He's given up 7 on the year now. That's untimely.
6th home run of the season for Travis Shaw.
Yeah, that's a splitter. You see it coming out of his hands there, and it just never really does much because he started it out too high. That pitch has to start out down closer to the knees so that when it drops down out of the zone rather than right into the sweet part of the hitting zone.
So Shaw breaks out of the hitless in his last 19 at bats and breaks out in a big way. And here's Jesus Aguilar.
He's too good of a hitter, Shaw is, to be sitting on the kind of slump that he's in right now, and you hope that he gets out of town before it really gets hot.
There's another long drive, this one to left center field. Back-to-back jacks off of Homer Bailey. Number 2 for Aguilar, 3-0 Brewers. Two titanic blasts.
Well, it's a home run hitting team, there's no question, but you can't throw it right there. I mean, the last 2 pitches that Homer Bailey has thrown that have been hit out of the ballpark are basically hitter's pitches. I mean, you can talk all you want about hitters trying to elevate the ball and the ball being juiced and so on, but I mean, if you just take a composite of the strike zone and show where the home run pitches are located, they're all in basically the same place. Most of them are, which is thigh high, inner third, outer third, pretty much over the center of the dish.
Counts 1-1 to catcher Manny Pena. Brewers came in 4th in the National League in home runs with 32, now with 34, and I'm not sure what the Rockies and Diamondbacks have done today, but that ties them for the National League lead in home runs.
Well, they're a home run hitting club, there's no question about it. They're designed to be that way. They play in a really good hitter's ballpark. They've got some big sluggers in there. Shaw's going to deliver a lot of home runs. Yelich is more of a batting average guy, but he'll hit you 15 at least.
Votto on foul ground. And that's the 3rd out, but damage done. Shaw and Aguilar, home runs, 3-0 Brewers. brought to you by Nissan. Jose Peraza leading off tonight. Adam Duvall will hit second ahead of Votto. Votto, then Schebler, Suarez, Tucker Barnhart behind the plate. Rosell Herrera again making his first big league start tonight. Pitcher spot is 8th tonight, and Billy Hamilton batting 9th in center field. On the mound, 30-year-old Chase Anderson making his 7th start of the season, first against the Reds.
Writing the initials of two of his grandmothers and initials of his father in the back of the mound before he takes the hill. Anderson makes his 7th start overall. He came over from the Diamondbacks. He was originally drafted and signed by the Diamondbacks in 2009 and came over to the Brewers in exchange for Gene Segura right before the 2016 season.
Now, you mentioned those initials, and he had a very close relationship with his father, Robert, who passed away in 2012. And he still, on home games, wears his late father's socks, cowboy boots, belt buckle, jeans, and a pink polo shirt to the park prior to every home start to honor his dad. One pitch to Peraza, base hit.
Boy, Peraza is staying back so much better on the ball. The work that Don Long has done with him has been really remarkable. You know, Anderson hangs his pitch a little bit, but still, you got to get down there and get it. It was a strike, definitely, and Peraza looking to take that ball either to right field or up the middle. That's a good stroke.
And that's getting right back on the horse. Last night he went 0 for 4. That snapped a season-high 7-game hitting streak, so right back into the hit column. Although last night he did have a sacrifice fly RBI. Now here's Adam Duvall, who the Reds desperately want to get going. 175 batting average, and there goes Peraza. Throw down, Manny Pena not in time. Running right away on Chase Anderson. That's stolen base number 4 for Peraza. He's yet to be caught.
Well, he got a, you know, I think this was kind of a sneak attack because he went on the very first pitch and the ball got loose right there. I don't know what the call would have been had VR been able to hold on to that baseball.
Would have been really close.
I loved it early in the count, stolen bases. I really do. Now it gives, you know, Adam Duvall a couple of different options of things to do.
Well, a good fastball hitter is Duvall, and putting him ahead of Votto, trying to ignite him a little bit, perhaps.
Well, I think it's been a good spot for Peraza in the number 2 spot. And I think anybody who hits in front of Votto is going to see more strikes, not necessarily all fastballs. Anderson has good control. His main pitch is a changeup.
Comes the 1-1. 1-2.
All right, now you got 2 strikes on you. Your job is to get Peraza to third base. Reds are down by 3, but you don't need to get them all back in the same inning. Yeah, you can tell a lot of times, Jim, at least I like to think that I can, by watching the way a hitter takes a pitch, whether he's seeing the ball well right now. And I can tell that Duvall's not, because he was very jumpy on that pitch. 0-2 or 1-2 fastball, way out of the zone. I mean, he followed it the whole way, but his body went with him.
2-2 pitch. There's that breaking ball, and down goes Duvall. Now time for our Lowe's whole team together. The mighty Risp, hitting with runners in scoring position since April 23rd. The Reds first in the National League as a team. Suarez, Winker, Schebler, Peraza, Votto, all doing their part. We'll see what Votto can do with Peraza at second base and 1 out. Your reigning National League Player of the Week, Joey Votto.
Interesting. Anderson's #1 pitch is that changeup, and he's not thrown one yet to any of the first 3 hitters that he's faced, trying to establish the fastball.
Votto 3 for 9 in his career off of Anderson, and 7 walks. He has reached safely in his last 15 appearances. Two and one. See what Anderson does here with a base open.
The Brewers are trying to pitch Votto the same way the Reds were trying to pitch Travis Shaw.
Opposite field hitting Votto. They're going to wave Peraza around. Here comes the throw to the plate. Cut off, and the Reds are on the board. #15th RBI of the season for Votto.
Well, that is concentration and commitment to going the other way, and that's exactly what Votto does.
And that'll bring up the hot-hitting Scott Schebler. He'll step in riding a 6-game hitting streak and a cool .320 batting average. Mile high into right field. Plenty of room for Yelich. 2 outs. Here's your 4 defensive lineup for the Brewers. After playing first base last night, Ryan Braun back in left field. Lorenzo Cain in center field. The aforementioned Yelich in right. Shaw, Arcia, Villar, Aguilar. In the infield, Manny Pena hanging the signs for Chase Anderson. 2-out batters, Eugenio Suarez. Suarez steps in at .327. 14 RBIs after a 4 RBI night last night. Long drive. Left center field. Goodbye. The Brewers score 3 in the top half. The Reds answer with 3. Third home run of the season for Suarez, and after a 4 RBI night, quick 2 ribeyes here in this one. Suarez, since his return, including tonight, 24 plate appearances, 17 with men on. He is 9 for 16 with 9 RBIs with men on. He has been red hot since his return. Served into center field, but caught by Lorenzo Cain. The swing and the salsa. 3-3 game. Chevy. Check out their award-winning lineup only at your Tri-State Chevy dealer. And by Skyline Chili. Feeling good? It's Skyline time. Queen City in all its glory. So far, a slugfest. A lot of threes on that scoreboard. Suarez, 2-run home run. As we talked about in the open, both of these starting pitchers prone to giving up the long ball, and each gave up home runs in the first inning, although Bailey gave up back-to-back home runs in inning number 1. So a brand new ball game. We'll see what Homer can do as his offense bailing him out. Coming in, Homer didn't have much run support. Reds had scored 12 runs in his 6 starts. Hamilton continuing to go back at the base of the wall, makes the catch off the bat of Jonathan Beyond.
Boy, ball carrying here tonight. You mentioned the wind earlier. There's a breeze blowing, no doubt about it, out towards that area where that ball was going, towards the Brewers bullpen in left center field. But that ball didn't seem that was hit all that much, and it just went and went and went. They want to turn that in for another one.
8-batter Orlando Arcia. Brewers trying to get this guy going. 190 average, couple of home runs, 8 RBIs. One out base hit. And that'll bring up the pitcher Chase Anderson. Anderson, a 1-for-10 batter this season. A career .095 hitter. He will certainly be bunting in this situation.
And that's one reason why you throw over to first base. You want to shorten the lead, but you also want to find out what the intentions of the hitter are. And sure enough, Anderson squared.
The Reds had Suarez and Votto charging from the corners.
It's going to have to be a bad bunt to get the lead runner at second base. It's a long way to throw, and Arcia can run a little bit.
Butcher Boy pulls it back and takes a hack.
See, I think with 2 strikes, why wouldn't you do that almost every time? If you chart the number of successful bunts with 2 strikes by a pitcher versus the number of times they foul a ball off and strike out, I think the strikeouts win. Although he gets that one down.
Nicely placed. Sacrifice goes 1-4. And with 2 outs, top of the order in Lorenzo Cain. Bailey trying to put a goose egg up there here in the second. Cain found out his first time up that season, average sitting at .287. Cain was just named Brewers Player of the Month for March/April. 28 games, .290 batter, 4 home runs, 10 RBI, 8 stolen bases. This guy leads the team in hits, walks, stolen bases. And was tied with Travis Shaw for runs scored, but Shaw has surpassed him after blasting a 2-run home run in the first.
Kind of an interesting contract, really, that the Brewers signed with Lorenzo Cain. He turned 32 at the very beginning of the season here. And for the last year that he played, which was with the Kansas City Royals in his walk year before he became free agent. It was one of the first years in a while that he was not injured.
Reds had him played perfectly. Herrera, Devado, and Bailey strands one and indeed puts that 0 on the board.
Herrera was called up last week. Tonight he is filling in at second base for Scooter Gennett. Riggleman saw him in spring training. However, Pat Kelly worked with him a little bit in Louisville. That'll be his first career hit. Congrats to Rosell Herrera. And guys, although Jim Riggleman is just seeing him play, Pat Kelly says that he is believed to be pretty solid both on second and in the outfield. So we'll see this young man work.
Oh, they'll throw that ball aside in his first big league hit. Rosell Herrera, and he got it out of the way quickly. He is a very likable young man, always a smile on his face, always there to say hello. And Bailey will try to bunt him over. Nicely done.
Oh, what a great moment in the life of this young man. And you're right, Jim Day. He is a very likable young man. He gets the bat head on this ball, drives it in the hole between second and first. And we hope Rosell Herrera, that is the first of many, many major league base hits.
He's a tall, lanky kid, versatile. Jim Riggleman believes he can play all three outfield positions. He believes second base is probably his best position in the infield. We saw him all over in spring training. Got a ton of playing time in the spring. Got off to a hot start, hit home run in his first 2 spring training games, I believe.
Well, he was originally signed by the Colorado Rockies when he was 16 years old. And now at age 25, he gets his first major league hit.
He can run a little bit too. Good speed, good athlete. Nice play by Arcia. And it took a nice play to get the speedy Hamilton.
Well, RC is one of those shortstops that is gifted with a really plus arm, and he knows that Hamilton is running here. He's going to charge that ball, field it on the run, and throw on the run. You know, what would be a simple routine ground out for anybody else is bang bang at first base for Hamilton.
Hamilton does get Herrera to third, but with 2 outs, here's Jose Peraza. Peraza likes to go up there hacking. I know it's weird to say, but you don't see many 2-0 counts against him. Good numbers with runners in scoring position as well. 3-0.
That's a pitch right there. If he can learn the outer part of the strike zone and learn to lay off that pitch right there, it eliminates so many weak fly balls to right field, little ground balls off the end of the bat. And you continue to remind yourself this young man just had his 24th birthday a couple of days ago.
Yep. Yesterday. And he walked him on a 4-pitch walk. That was only the third 3-0 count this season against Peraza. To back up what we were saying, simply, you don't see it much, but that is a great sign for Peraza, particularly hitting in the leadoff spot. Give Adam Duvall a chance to maybe run into one.
I think the Brewers probably thinking about Adam Duvall the same way the Reds were thinking about Travis Shaw. Kind of stuck and mired into a bad slump, not seeing the ball well, but knowing the quality that he is as a hitter. 30 home runs last year. It's a matter of time until he gets out of it.
.77 on the gun and a strike. Rip but foul.
That's what Duvall likes to do. He likes to get out in front of that breaking ball a little bit. He can pop it out of the ballpark very easily. He more or less likes to hit the fastball between the gaps. But he's seen 2 breaking balls in this count, and that's the pitch he struck out on in his first at bat.
Long look in by Anderson. Finally has what he wants from Pena. 0-2 pitch. There goes Peraza from first. The ball is dropped by Pena. And the second stolen base of the night from Jose Peraza.
Yeah, that's smart base running right there. Now, I don't know if Peraza just has a green light and went on his own, or whether the Reds forced him to go on that. But you're looking for a breaking ball on an 0-2 count, figuring Anderson's probably going to waste something. And that's what happened.
So 2 runners in scoring position. Duvall bidding for a big 2-out hit. He lays off one up and away. Count evens at 2-2. Action pitch on the way. 3-2. First base is open, but number 19 stands on deck.
Well, it's an action pitch for the hitters. I always say the 2-2 count is a decision pitch for the pitchers. That's when a pitcher really wants to get a decision on a 2-2 count, because the averages really go against you now when you have to go 3-2 to a hitter, because you've got the walk involved.
Payoff pitch. Look out, Billy Hatcher. Billy did a little hop and a dance to avoid that one. Set it up and do the 3-2 again. Swing and a miss. Red Strand 2. We're tied at 3. TV. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Third inning from GABP. 3-3 game. Homer Bailey will get Christian Yelich, Ryan Braun, Travis Shaw here in the third. 2, 3, and 4 in that vaunted Brewers lineup. Yelich 1 for 1, a single and a run scored. He and Lorenzo Cain were the two offseason acquisitions that made a big splash in Milwaukee. January 25th, they got Yelich from the Marlins, part of that Marlins fire sale, if you will. And we'll see that club this weekend. Brewers gave up 4 players to get Yelich. One-two pitch. Herrera with the backhand. Scoop by Votto. Did he get? Yeah, he did. Wow, what a play on both ends. Herrera with the backhand. Off balance throw, and I don't know how Votto kept his foot on the bag.
Really good defensive play, as you're right, Jim, both ends right here. This is the kind of play, you put 4-3 down in your scorebook, but to lead off the inning, after the Brewers have been making some noise each inning in this ball game, it's so important to get that first guy. Votto gets a stretch, able to drag his toe across the bag, and Homer will take it.
You bet he'll take it. First pitch swinging, Ryan Braun. Shebler, 2 outs. And Homer will take that any day of the week. 1 pitch and an out to Braun. But now he'll tangle with Travis Shaw, who hit one about halfway up the moon deck in right field his first time up. Bailey a little extra careful with Shaw. 3 balls and no strikes. A generous strike call.
The old 3-0 Leo.
In on the hands this time. 1-2-3 third for Homer Bailey. 3-3 game on Fox Sports Ohio. Single. He has reached base safely in 23 straight games versus Milwaukee. A .368 average, 6 home runs, 12 RBIs. An on-base machine at .546. As he will lead off here in the third. Votto, Shebler, and Suarez due up. First pitch swinging is Votto, and the Reds have now swung at the first pitch in 7 of 12 plate appearances tonight. So we saw them try to attack Chacin early last night, and looks like the same plan against Chase Anderson.
Well, you know, they've got it down to such a science now, to predictability as to how often a starting pitcher throws a first pitch fastball, for instance, and how often he can throw that for a strike. And whether you're right-handed or left-handed, and he does it in even innings or odd innings. I mean, they break it down so much that if you have any kind of a tendency to repeat the same thing over and over again, you become very predictable. Those are the kind of numbers and information that the analytics department is able to deliver to the coaches.
1-2 to Votto, and he pulled the string a bit at 82, and strikeout number 3 for Chase Anderson.
That's his calling card, that changeup. I mean, he has got as good a changeup as anybody. And you may ask at home, well, what makes a good changeup? You sell it like a fastball. Your arm speed is identical to the fastball. Your release point is the same. And you kill the speed of the pitch by your grip.
And most pitchers nowadays throw the circle change.
Well, modified. I mean,
modified.
Everybody has different size hands and release points and so on. So, you know, I don't know if you can just kind of throw a blanket over that. I do know that as a pitch, almost anybody can learn how to pitch if you stick with it long enough. But it's not an easy study. It's not like a cutter, for instance, that you can learn to throw a cutter in about 20 minutes and then use it that day in the game. The changeup may take years to get right. Nobody better in baseball than teaching the changeup than Mario Soto, who's in the Reds organization.
You're stealing my thoughts. I was just going to say, as Schebler line drive into right field for a base hit. He continues his hot hitting, a 7-game hitting streak now for Schebler. But Soto, I just don't understand. I would take every young pitcher and just send him to Mario Soto changeup school immediately.
I mean, he can take them only so far. From there, they have to have the dedication to stick with it, learn to work on it, and so on. 7-game hitting streak for Schebler. Second time in his ball game that he really hit the ball hard. I mean, he just missed a home run his first time up.
First pitch to Suarez, and this will be caught on a dive by VR. He sawed him off, and VR at the other end.
Suarez had a splintered bat last night that turned out to be a base hit. This time he breaks it again right at the handle, and VR is there to be able to pick off that soft line drive. You may want to get into Joey Votto's stack of bats in the clubhouse. I don't see Votto ever breaking a bat and have it shatter like that. And of course, the tradition goes on that the best hitters get the best wood.
No question about that. I remember people marveling at the bats Ken Griffey Jr. would get. They would just stare at the wood texture.
Triple lacquer.
That thing, I was just going to say, it would be lacquered up. And I mean, just young players just like, oh my gosh, look at this. And hitters look at that wood grain, and they can look at a bat and know whether it's good right away. Hey, if they're going to give it to you, take it. Barnhart bunting for a base hit. I love that. They're going to give you that. Lay it down.
Little slide right there by Tucker. And they are giving it to him. Right them out there, he knows, sweet base hit.
Now, back in the 70s and 80s, there were such good handlers of the bats and bunters. You couldn't have shifted as much like that back then against certain hitters, could you?
I think they probably would have taken advantage of it more than they do now.
See what Rosell Herrera will do. Last time up, his first big league hit.
Well, the first time through the order, I mentioned this earlier, that Anderson threw almost all fastballs. This time through, I mean, he's throwing first pitch changeup, so everything's out of the bag now.
Herrera, a switch hitter. Throw down to second base, and dangerous throw. First and second. 1-1 count, 2 outs. Pregame was talking about Rosell Herrera before the game. He doesn't want a guy to come up and sit on the bench too long. He was looking for a spot to get him in, and with Scooter Gennett still nursing a shoulder injury, he's available to pinch hit as Scooter Gennett. Found the spot tonight. Said Blandino will be back in at second base most likely tomorrow night. Although you never know. Herrera puts together a big night.
Make a good point. I mean, until Gennett gets back, there's nothing written in stone.
No. Two-two pitch. Swing and a miss. Reds had 2 more. 3-3 game. You can see your Reds take on the Mets Wednesday, May 9th at half price. Plus, you'll get same-day admission to the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum. For tickets, call 513-381-REDS or visit reds.com. Some restrictions apply. Fourth inning here at the Yard. And after both teams put up 3 in the first inning, both starting pitchers have settled in the next 2 innings. As Bailey will get 5, 6, and 7 in the Brewers order. Jesus Aguilar. First time up for Jesus, a monster home run to left center field. 1-1 pitch. So Aguilar and Travis Shaw supplied the power in the first. And the Brewers trying to make up for the loss of Eric Thames.
Didn't look like the big man liked that last call.
Didn't at all. Right at bottom. That was a decent piece of hitting right at the first baseman, Joey Votto. And here's Manny Pena. Pena delivered a home run last night. Solo shot in the fourth. Very winnable game last night for the Reds. Hamilton calls off Schebler. 2 outs.
You know, you mentioned it was a winnable game last night, and I think every manager feels the same way when you have a one-run ball game. In fact, that's one reason why they keep that stat, as to it's almost like a luck factor, that most teams at the end of the year end up about 500 in those one-run games, because you can win them and you can lose them. Those years in which a team that is maybe not projected to be a World Series champion caliber team ends up in the playoffs, a lot of times it has to do with winning those one-run games. How many of those can you ease out with a W rather than an L?
Oh, they always talk about every team's going to win 60. They're going to lose 60. It's the other 42 that matter. And a lot of those are those one-run games. O2 pitch to VR.
Reminds me of a managerial story. Old manager once told me, he goes, you know, you can look at a roster the same way. Say 24 on a roster. You got 8 really great guys. You got 8 really bad guys. And the key is to keep those last 8 away from the bad guys.
Or if your man Reggie Jackson comes into the clubhouse.
You're just lucky to be here.
What did he say to you?
He said, well, not to me,
not
but
to you, but to everyone.
I felt like it was directed right at me when he said, there's me and guys like Thurman Munson, and then there's the rest of you just happy to be here, guys.
Swing and a miss. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings for Homer Bailey. Appreciation, your Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers are bringing you a great Reds ticket offer for the next 2 series of this homestand. Visit Reds.com/FSOhio tonight, and when you buy 1 Fox Sports Club ticket, Toyota will give you 1 free. Offer is good only through Reds Live postgame. So buy 1 Fox Sports Club ticket, which is a great ticket, by the way, and Toyota is going to give you a ticket for free. Again, that's Reds.com/FSOhio through Reds Live postgame tonight. Regional Sports Network of the Year. Arcia spinning, dealing, what a play.
I'm not sure if Chase Anderson slowed that down or not, but by the time Arcia had it, Bailey looks up and realizes not much he can do about it.
Billy Hamilton grounded out his first time up. Hamilton, before the game today, was working on an old golf trick, and it applies in baseball as well, where they're really trying to make any adjustments they can for Billy. And it's the old towel under the arm. He had a tendency to get his elbow up in the air, and which would create an upward swing, correct? If you
Indeed.
get your elbow too high. And he was in the cage with a towel underneath of his arm, and this is to keep his elbow down, because if he puts that elbow up, the towel is going to fall out. So working on keeping that elbow down and thus having a flatter swing, like sort of right there, and Ryan Braun makes the sliding catch, but that was much more of a line drive than a pop-up for Hamilton. So trying to make any tweaks they can to Billy. And you've seen many golfers do this as well, correct?
Absolutely right. And you know, you have that flying elbow, which is a bad thing in just about any sport in which you swing a club or a bat. Interesting, you know, if you go back to what Joe Morgan used to do, you know, he used to kind of do the chicken wing, where he'd like flap it back and forth. He didn't do that so he could get his elbow up. He did that so he'd remind himself to keep that elbow down.
Right.
And, you know, so a lot of guys have found different ways to kind of lock in. They're just trying to get to the point with Billy, get locked in on something that is going to help you keep the ball out of the air.
Peraza left center field, but Braun over to get it. 1, 2, 3, 4th for Chase Anderson. 5th inning and a 3-3 game coming up.
trip to Minnesota. The two talked about many things about baseball, but they also touched on basketball. Tonight, the Cavs will take on the Raptors in the second round of the NBA playoffs. And Joey Votto said he wasn't raised in hockey. I watched the very first Raptors game, and it was like a gift from the gods. I was a basketball fan, and all of a sudden, an NBA team landed in my city. Now, the Raptors were founded in 1995. Joey Votto was 12 at the time. That and more coming up on Reds Weekly, presented by Miami Valley Gaming, with an all-new episode tomorrow at 6 on Fox Sports Ohio and streaming on Fox Sports Go.
Yeah, he is a major hoops fan. Not only the Raptors, but a big Kobe Bryant fan. Really loved what Kobe did in his career and how much of a competitor he was. And you never know, when you watch an NBA game during the baseball offseason, you will often see Joey Votto sitting in the first or second row.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good episode for Gym Day with Gym Day.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, little hoops in the backyard of Joey Votto's house. A little one-on-one, or maybe
I don't know about one-on-one. We can go horse. I can still shoot it a little bit, but. And another NBA fan right there, Tucker Barnhart, big Pacers fan. He goes to a lot of Pacers games. I could still shoot the J a little bit, but if I got to play defense, or, well, I suppose now I could box out with the girth.
Well, now that you're in shape and running up the big hill in spring training.
No, that was not a good look for me. Can we just get rid of that footage forever, please? That was one of those things where it's like I got a text early in the morning. Joey wants you at the running hill at 9 a.m. And I'm like, oh. I had just pounded a large coffee. Not a good time to run right after a large coffee.
So did that the coffee wash down a large omelet?
No, it did not. Which was an upset, actually, on that particular morning in Arizona.
Well, you look at Orlando Arcia at the plate and you wonder how he ever makes contact at all. I mean, his feet are going all over the place. He's batting right at the Mendoza line right now at even 200. He is very active. Did have a base hit his first time up as he got one into the right side.
Raza. High throw. Votto tried to make the tag, but couldn't do it. We're going to score that a base hit.
Generous official scoring ruling right here. He had plenty of time, really, because Arcia runs well, but still a good throw has him by 3 steps at least.
Yeah, that's one of those at this level. It's shortstop position we're talking about here. Play should be made. So again, Bailey throwing over with the pitcher Chase Anderson at the plate. This time Anderson had not squared around a bunt. Anderson, his first time up, laid down a 2-strike sacrifice bunt. Got Arcia to second base, but Bailey got Lorenzo Cain to ground out to end the second. Anderson was square.
Bailey looking for his first ground ball double play of the year. If they can get him down there, and Votto make a nice sliding catch.
Votto charging in on the bunt. And a big out for Homer Bailey. Now Lorenzo Cain, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Bailey about to throw pitch number 70. 1 out into the 5th. One and one. Arcia only has 1 steal on the season and 1 attempt. With that batting average just above 200, he hasn't had many opportunities. Herrera, slow grounder, the plays to first. 2 outs. Now lefty swinging Christian Yelich. Single back in the first and scored on Travis Shaw's 2-run home run. Inside corner for a strike. Yelich had that dreaded oblique strain earlier this season that we've seen a lot in recent years. He missed 8 games. What did they call that injury when you were playing? Just a sore side?
Rib cage. Yeah,
Rib cage.
My ribs hurt. Of course, back in those days, they used to say, my arm hurts. And then they say, well, what part of your arm? You say, well, okay, he's got shoulder pain or elbow pain. And now we're actually getting right down to the name of the ligament or the muscle. And
Two-one pitch. 3-1.
that could have gone either way. That pitch looked like it was right on the corner. Even though Bailey was trying to throw that ball inside, it looked like it may have caught the outside part of the plate, according to our box tracks.
Well, be careful here. Hitters count at 3-1. Duvall giving chase. Does he have room? He does not. I should say he didn't catch up to it. Falls foul. The count has gone full. It's a part of the ballpark from where we're sitting. We lose sight of it. Now a trip to the mound by Barnhart. First of 6 that teams get nowadays with the new rule. Payoff pitch. Just foul.
Easy inning, second and third for Homer Bailey, and fourth as well. Yeah, a little bit of a tester coming right out of the chute there in the first inning. Gave up a couple of home runs and the 3 runs overall.
So we'll do the 3-2 again. First base is open, but you've got Ryan Braun on deck. Comes the 3-2 again. And he walked him. It's only the first walk given up by Homer Bailey, but comes at a testy time with Braun coming to the plate. Those numbers not unlike any pitcher, young pitcher, veteran pitcher. But 33 at-bats, like a lot of Reds pitchers, they simply haven't gone deep into games. Braun 0 for 2 tonight. Ground out, fly out. Into right field. This is trouble. That'll go to the wall. They're going to wave around the second runner. A 2-out, 2 RBI double by Ryan Braun, and the Brewers have retaken the lead.
A couple of pitches attempted to go inside on Braun, and then Bailey goes down to hopefully a safe spot down and away with a little cutter. And Braun is thinking about going to right field, and he does it with authority.
Braun continues his onslaught against Bailey in his career. It's now 11 RBIs in 50 plate appearances. And that is RBI number 1006. He is second on the all-time list behind the great Robin Yount. And this will be the second trip to the mound of the inning. This time, pitching coach Danny Darwin joins Tucker Barnhart.
Now you got to think about damage control right here. I'm not sure the content of this conversation, but you know, you've got Travis Shaw, the left-hander. He's already hit a home run tonight. And behind him, though, you have Jesus Aguilar. And he's hit a home run. So it's like almost pick your poison. If you get behind Shaw right here, you have a base open at first, so you don't necessarily have to pipe him a pitch down Broadway just to try to throw him a strike. But at the same time, they both are very dangerous.
So as Darwin went to the mound, the Reds got up right-hander David Hernandez as he begins to crank it up in the Reds' pen. Timeout. Both teams with 6 hits tonight. But the Brewers, the all-important 5 runs and a 5-3 lead. Bailey painting the inside corner. Two and one. We talked about the pitch count earlier this inning. Now a 25 pitch inning and counting.
Jim Pregame is not counting pitches, he's counting runs.
As you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the Hold True moment later in tonight's game. The 2-2 pitch. Fisted. Peraza. And Bailey gets out of it, but not before surrendering 2 on a 5-3 Brewers lead. Will get an Eugenio Suarez bobblehead presented by John Morrell. See your Reds in action for as low as $12. For tickets, visit Reds.com. It's trailing by 2. 5th inning. Duvall, Votto, Schebler against Chase Anderson. So after Anderson gives up 3 in the first, 3 goose eggs after that. And this Brewers team at 17-13 on the season has been riding that starting pitching, particularly over the last 16 games. Coming in, Brewers starters 2.75 ERA, which coming in spanned 88 and a third innings, and a .218 opponent batting average. Early on, it looked like we were going to be in for a slugfest, and it still might turn out to be that way. The Reds have had their chances after the first. They stranded 2 in the second and 2 in the third. Leadoff walk by Duvall. The Reds home run hits the Toyota side between the tall stacks during tonight's game. Stephen Grendel from Mainville, Ohio will get the beautiful new Tundra on display at Great American Ballpark thanks to Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. Second walk of the night surrendered by Chase Anderson. Let's see if the Reds can take advantage. Votto at the plate. Change up again. Eaton Votto up.
You know, Votto will tell you that the guys who give him the most problems are those with the best changeups because you can't read the spin. A good changeup will have the same spin as the pitcher's fastball. So if he sells it as a fastball with his arm speed, it's very difficult for pitch recognition. And that's one thing that really good hitters excel in much better than everybody else, is recognizing the pitches right out of the pitcher's hand. Something they do, maybe they raise their hand just very slightly on breaking balls versus fastballs. They see the ball come out of a pitcher's fingers, eyesight off the charts.
Well, they do those eyesight tests now, part of the sports science department. And I took that test in spring training. I think it was last year. And they wouldn't give up the results. But I said a guy like Votto probably aces this test, and it was an affirmation.
Will Anderson come back with one more changeup in this at bat? That's the question.
2-2 pitch.
I mean, this is really cat and mouse between pitcher and batter right here. Anderson is not a guy with a lot of breaking balls, although he'll throw a couple of curveballs once in a while. But for the most part, fastball changeup to a hitter like Votto. Adding and subtracting.
Payoff to Votto. There goes Duvall, and it's fouled off.
He'll stay alive swing right there.
Votto, a little conversation with himself.
Well, pep talk.
We'll do the 3-2 again. Throw over, close play. And Duvall leaning. Pretty good idea to throw over there. Votto run, or Duvall running on the last pitch, 3-2 count.
Very close. That's why you want to go to the back part of the bag if you're a runner diving in over there. You have to make that first baseman reach just a little bit farther to apply the tag.
Craig Counsell's holding up play here. They're going to see if they want to look at that. And
they think they picked him off, and they're going to ask for a review right here.
It was a close play, no doubt. That'll be interesting.
Well, while we have a break, Jim, I want to congratulate a young man that pitched a no-hitter yesterday for the Moeller Crusaders against the Elder Panthers. Mo Schaefer's pitched a 6-inning no-hitter. It was a run rule game, but a no-hitter nonetheless. So congratulations to you, Mo Schaefer's, and the entire Moeller baseball team.
A no-no.
That is, from what I understand, the 24th no-hitter in the history of Moeller High School.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
24.
The Ron Roth note. Of course, Ron is, I think he still coaches over there a little bit, but he used to be the freshman coach for Moeller for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And now, of course, he's the official scorer here at Great American Ballpark. And we thank Jeff Keith, who was on their coaching staff over there, to alert me of that. Jeff's a good man.
And the decision is safe at first base.
You know, I really think
Call stands officially.
that if you ask for a replay and it doesn't go your way, that you should donate $100 to the Reds Community Fund.
The team or the manager?
Manager.
Wow. 3-2 pitch again to Votto. Into left field. Hit well. Going back, Braun at the wall. He's got it. That was quite the battle. Votto v. Anderson. One out batter is Scott Schebler. Last time up, extended his hitting streak to 7 games.
He's seen the ball well off of Anderson tonight. That first ball that he hit in the first inning, a sky-high fly ball to right field. I mean, he missed by 1/4 of an inch, hitting that way back into the moon deck.
Why don't you put an invoice on Craig Counsell's desk?
That's a good idea.
And just leave it there.
And we just instituted a new policy here at Great American Ballpark, Craig. We appreciate your cooperation.
Signed to Tom Brenneman, your friend.
We prefer cash, but we'll take a check.
2-0 the count to Scott Schebler. See if the Reds can answer. The Brewers scored 3 in the first. Reds answered with 3 in the first. Brewers get 2 in the top half. Hitters count. Two balls and a strike, and the Reds would love for Schebler to run into one last night. Last night, the Reds had their 7-game home run streak snapped. They homered in 7 straight. Catcher calls timeout. Swing and a miss. I am way out in front.
I just think it's very interesting the way that Anderson in that first inning tried to get by with nothing but fastballs, saving that changeup, which he knows is his calling card pitch, until the second and then the third time through the order. Third time now Schebler's seen him.
just got under it. That ball still carrying out to the track. 2 outs. Two outs down to bring up Eugenio Suarez. He's hit the ball hard twice. Home run, inning number 1, 2-run job. Lined out in the 3rd. Back in the 1st. Pow. Oh, salsa action. Joey. Suarez is always salsa dancing in the clubhouse, particularly in spring training, where the mood is often light. Tried to get me to salsa dance. There was no chance of that happening. Don't even think about it.
I'm trying not to.
Okay, good. Oh, I'm very self-aware. Don't worry. 2-1 pitch. 3-1.
Seems like the deeper we get into this ball game, the more carefully Anderson and more measured he becomes. I mean, really pacing time between his pitches more dramatically now than ever.
Walked him. Second walk of the inning surrendered by Chase Anderson.
Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, will come on out. You know, the Brewers coaching staff is an interesting makeup of different types of former players and college coaches. Derek Johnson, longtime college coach at Vanderbilt, and of course Pat Murphy, longtime college coach. He was at University of Notre Dame.
He's
Arizona
a bench coach,
State,
right?
And spent 25 years in the college ranks before at one time becoming the manager of the San Diego Padres, and now is one of the bench coaches for Craig Counsell.
Hitting coach is Darnell Coles, former Red. I believe he played with the Reds in 1992.
And Lee Tunnell is their bullpen coach.
Yeah.
He's a former Red coach.
Right. All right, the Reds need a big 2-out hit here. Pickoff play. Got it!
Oh, my. Now, the Reds will probably want to take a look at that one. We'll take a look at it first.
Oh, he's in there.
We're going to have our second review, I think, in this inning.
Yeah, he's in there. Unless they deem his fingertips not reaching.
The umpires are going over to the replay headset.
So how much on the line here for the Reds Community Fund?
I think it's $100.
$100.
Yeah. I mean, we might as well make this, you know, beneficial to a very good charity.
Yeah. This one shouldn't take very long. Tim Timmons, second base umpire, who made the call, and crew chief Mike Winters on the horn to New York. Call is out at second base. And you and I have both been in that replay center, which was fascinating, by the way, in New York. I'm so glad we got to do that. This is not an easy job, even if the call looks obvious. This one taking a little longer than we thought.
Well, Major League Baseball has instructed the umpiring crew to keep it under 2 minutes, if at all possible. And what we found, and that really just was instituted this year. What we found, though, that those reviews that are taking longer than that have a greater chance of being overturned. And now we know.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
'28th birthday. Scooter Gennett started his day off with his wife Kelsey, who made him a stack of flapjacks, but perhaps his best gift will come on Thursday when he heads to his hometown of Lebanon, Ohio, where he will sign autographs at Lebanon Sports and candy from 5 to 7 p.m. And also, he will he will also be honored for Scooter Gennett Day. The mayor will honor him with this proclamation. Scooter told me he's very much looking forward to the event and was sad to miss the game tonight. Fellas.
Well, most likely he's going to be out of the starting lineup tomorrow night. Jim Riggleman said he'd be tempted to put him back in there, but with an off day for the team on Thursday, they will hopefully, that shoulder will be good enough to play defense on Friday. He had an MRI yesterday morning, no structural damage, which is the good news.
Well, hopefully, well, on Thursday when he's in the town of Lebanon, he'll be able to stop by and get a bite to eat at the Golden Lamb. The age-old, wonderful restaurant there that has been there probably, I think, since the Civil War days, if I'm not mistaken. Wonderful little town, Lebanon, Ohio.
It is, in his hometown, as Shannon talked about. The Golden Lamb. You know what? I can't believe I haven't taken that venture. Since 1803, even pre-Civil War.
How about that?
When you were just a toddler, that thing opened. 2-2 pitch to Aguilar. Swing and a miss. The new pitcher is David Hernandez.
Hernandez threw the ball well in his first outing, I guess, since coming off the disabled. Not first, but most significant outing since coming off the disabled list. That was up in Minnesota, where he picked up a win.
Offseason acquisition along with Jared Hughes. And unfortunately got a late start to the season. But if he's on and Hughes, Iglesias, if they would ever get Lorenzen back, who's now throwing, I believe, in Arizona, and he'll finally be whole in that bullpen. Close the book on Homer Bailey. 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs. They were earned. A walk, a strikeout, 2 home runs. So yet again, a 5-inning start from a Red starter. And at some point, it's going to start taxing this bullpen. It already has at points so far in the young season. But you simply can't continue to have starts that aren't 6 and 7 and 8 innings and not wear that bullpen out. They're going to have to cover at least 4 tonight, innings that is. He walks Manny Pena. Strikeout, walk here in the 6th for Hernandez. He walked into the clubhouse today talking about Scooter Gennett. He had teammates took care of him. They had balloons, a cake. He was sitting in his locker and he looked like a little kid sitting there with. And we talked about the number 3 in Dale Earnhardt. They had a big number 3 balloon. And that corner of the clubhouse just looked like birthday boy. I don't know what else to say. Giving that gum a workout. Tell you what, when you're used to playing every day and all of a sudden you're not playing, I've talked to so many players about it, you're just bored to death on the bench.
Well, the Reds actually, when they picked up Scooter Gennett, didn't expect him to play every day. They thought that he would be a backup player that would fill in from here and there, you know, and as things turned out, he played so well. He was sharing time with Jose Peraza at second base that he ended up taking the job full time.
He's available to pinch hit as he did here last night. Count evens up to the switch hitting Jonathan Villar. Count will stay at 2-2. Foul ball. Not by much. Check us out after the game. We'll put a capper on this one. Reds Live, the post-game edition, brought to you by Performance Kings Honda. Jeff Bacoro will be manning the condo. I will join him after hours in the late stages of the party. Two pitch. Blocked by Barnhart. Count is full. So the Brewers playing game 8 tonight of a 9-game road trip. It's been feast or famine. They played 2 in Kansas City, won both of them. Went to Wrigley Field, got swept in 4. And trying for back-to-back victories in as many games against the Reds here. Following this trip, Brewers will head back to Milwaukee. 5 games in 6 days. The Pirates and the Cleveland Indians will come a-calling. Pretty good battle going on right now between Villar and Hernandez. 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Ripped into right center field. Trouble. Gets under the glove of Schebler, and they're going to wave around Pena. Throw to the plate by Herrera. Not in time. Nice throw, but not in time, and the Brewers have played add-on.
Well, a situation right there where Jonathan Villar, the hitter, just kind of outlasted David Hernandez, the pitcher. Fouled off many pitches before he finally got one he could level on. And when this ball got underneath the glove of Schebler in right center field, that enabled the runner from first base, catcher Manny Pena, to come all the way around to score.
So Villar ends up at third base. Imagine they will score that at double and on to third. Oh, they scored that a straight triple. Wow. And that ball getting under the glove of Schebler.
Now the Reds are going to bring the infield in right here and try to stop the bleeding.
Arcia rips it right at Suarez on the bag for a double play. Suarez on that hot corner. Nice play.
.2014, Tucker Barnhart hit his first career home run in the 5th inning off Brewers' Marco Estrada in just his 3rd career start. Barnhart has 4 career home runs versus the Brewers, the most versus any team. He is now at bat, and can he hit another home run right here, fellas?
He was beardless at that point. About 16 years old when he hit that first home run. Now the bearded one, the eye black, no goggles, and a gold glove. Ooh. Reds will try to climb out of a 3-run hole. Brewers 3 in the first, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth. Chase Anderson has settled in nicely, although he's had to pitch around slight troubles. The Reds have left 5 on base, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fifth. How about a little bow tie Tuesday comeback?
That'd be a good time for that.
By the way, that's a very nice tie you're sporting tonight.
Well, it's a
Derby week.
It's a Derby week tie. It's a Run for the Roses tie, and was given to me by some close friends of mine, Julie and Peter Hill. Peter's a vet that takes care of Bubbles, so you know how important he is.
Bubbles, our old friend Bubbles, who spent a night in the booth here.
So hopefully we'll be able to celebrate a little bow tie Tuesday.
Check him out. He looks a little different.
Hitting style a little bit different.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Bit more
yeah.
angle on the bat, and I think also the position of his heel, keeping his hips closed, a little bit better now. So the Reds had a leadoff walk in the last inning, unable to convert on it. That pickoff of Adam Duvall to end the inning, boy, was that a rally killer.
Well, I should have learned just stop guessing on replays. Just stop it. Barnhart with the leadoff walk. He walked 3 times last night. Now we're used to him walking when he's batting 8th. That's an art form in front of the pitcher. But he's batted 6th last night, batting in the 6th position tonight. And Herrera bidding for his 2nd hit. Got his first major league hit back in the 2nd. Mentioned that Herrera is 25 years of age. He stands 6'3", 195. Born in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, where he still resides. Left center field, but Braun goes over to get it. 1 out. And that'll bring up the birthday boy, Scooter Gennett. Back-to-back nights of pinch hit performance. Last night, Gennett. Oh for 1 in that pinch hit appearance.
Now, Jim Riggleman originally had Alex Blandino up here in the on-deck circle, and then when the out was made by Rosell Herrera, he pulled back Blandino and decided to pinch hit Gennett.
Reds operating with a 4-man bench right now. He's got Winker to work with, Blandino, as you said, and the backup catcher Devin Mesoraco.
Of course, the other thing that Jim Riggleman is thinking about is the bullpen that Craig Counsell has at his disposal. And Counsell's made his way out to the home plate umpire with Gennett being announced as a hitter. They're going to make a double switch. So a very good bullpen, and Counsell is not afraid to go to it right now.
Yeah, we'll talk about that outstanding bullpen for the Brewers, which we saw firsthand a la Josh Hader last night. Those numbers when we come back. It's our Skyline Chili call to the bullpen.
Some big time work out of their four main guys. Jeremy Jeffress at the end of the ball game, a 0.6 earned run average. And if you just rank them by earned run average, you can see where they're 3rd, 6th, 7th, and 11th in the National League. So that's why Craig Counsell pulls that lever to the bullpen door early and often. In fact, interesting really to note that the Brewers bullpen has thrown more innings coming into this ball game than have the Reds bullpen.
Wow.
One out of desire, the other out of necessity.
So righty-lefty matchup. As Counsell lifts Chase Anderson. Pinch hitter is Scooter Gennett. Gennett has never faced Albers. Tapper plays to first. 2 outs. See if the Reds can chip away here. Runner in scoring position for Billy Hamilton. Part of the double switch, Hernan Perez is at second base for Jonathan VR. And I imagine he'll be hitting 9th. He will lead off in the 7th. See if Billy can come up with a big 2-out hit. Like Gennett, Hamilton has never faced Albers.
That's remarkable because Albers has been around a long, long time. Young man that was drafted in the 23rd round and is now in his 14th season. Wow. As a major league pitcher. Last year was with Washington, year before that with the White Sox.
Base hit, center field. They're going to wave around Tucker Barnhart. And the Reds indeed chip away. 6-4 game. 2-out hit, Billy Hamilton.
Yeah, that's a big run for the Reds, and it's also a big confidence builder for Hamilton. After a ground out and a line drive out, he gets this one right back up the middle. Kept that back elbow down.
Yep.
Right there, you see. You can start out with it up, but when you start your swing, you can't have that thing up. And he's able to level that ball in the center field. Barnhart comes around, and it's a 2-run game.
9th RBI of the season for Billy. Guess the elbow's the key.
Of course, he started out with it up.
Yeah, he did.
And maybe that's what they're trying to keep him from doing. It'll take a little practice to turn it into a habit.
There goes Billy. Pitches outside, throw down. They got him. The throw was right in to the head first slide of Billy, right into his legs. And that is the first time he is caught stealing this season in 6 attempts. But Billy drives in a run. And it's a 6-4 game. Charlie Blackmon, is this guy a player or what? Home run off of Hendricks. Dahl would follow it with a home run. But Anthony Rizzo in the leadoff spot tonight for the Cubs. Opposite field, home run. It is 3-1 Rockies in the 6th at Wrigley. Rizzo, your prototypical leadoff man. Not really. But 6 home runs in 16 games leading off. As Joe Madden loves to tinker around with that lineup, and Madden, with Rizzo struggling, puts him in the leadoff spot. It pays off tonight. New pitcher is lefty Amir Garrett.
He's got the number 9 spot in the order, and then they turn it over with Lorenzo Cain.
1.76 ERA for Garrett. And outside of really one outing, he's been pretty solid. Let me ask you this. Would you like to see him in more high leverage situations as we go forward?
I think he'll learn that as it comes around. I like the way they're using him right now. I mean, he's got such a great athletic body. He just has to figure out how to repeat that pitching delivery so it becomes more and more natural for him. And you do that by getting a lot of touches. Missile and gone.
Did they say that bounce back?
Now they're calling it a home. I think the third base umpire is calling it a home run.
He did. I thought it was out.
That's
And
Rob
indeed.
Drake down there.
Yep.
And
Rob Drake is saying, come on home. So Hernan Perez comes into the game, a pinch hit home run, his third of the season, and the Brewers get that run right back.
the umpires are going to take a look at it. If it hits something past that yellow line and comes back, that is a home run. I think that's what they're going to show.
This is a crew chief review.
If it hits off the yellow pad and comes back in, ball's in play.
There's our guy. Home run. Now, officially not a pinch hit home run as Perez came in defensively in the sixth. And the call was confirmed, and you can see it hit that concrete above the wall beyond the yellow line. And that yellow, and you've been out there, Chris, I think you did a tech talk out there. The top of that wall of that yellow is padded.
Correct.
So that came back so hard, it obviously hit the concrete.
Hey, one thing about this Brewer team, boy, they swing for him, don't they? That is a big cut for a leadoff hitter. Lorenzo Cain trying to hit the ball into the upper deck.
Don't get cheated. So another three-run game, 7-4. Shebler will run under this one on the first out. So Garrett gives up his second home run of the season. And now he'll do battle with Christian Yelich. Action in the Reds pen, it's righty Dylan Floro. Ball has the line drive off the bat of Yelich, 2 outs. And that'll bring up Ryan Braun. Last time up for Braun, a 2 RBI double. And with 2 outs, it was one of the big hits of this game. Maybe the biggest.
Well, it was certainly a big hit when Braun came up and was able to rifle that ball with 2 outs down the right field line. But the bullpen has also given up a run. Each reliever that has come in has given up a run each. So the Brewers have played a little add-on.
Hard hit ball right at Hamilton. Brewers had a run though. Ford dealer. Ford, go further. Great American Ballpark on this Tuesday night. 11 runs scored in this game, 7-4 in favor of the Brew Crew. Matt Albers still on the hill for the Brewers, and he gets to the top of the order in the form of Jose Peraza. Peraza 1 for 2 tonight. A single walk, couple of stolen bases, and a run scored. Peraza has faced Albers twice. 1 for 2. Counts 2-1. Nationals beating up on the Pirates 12-2, bottom of the 7th. Marlins and Phillies tied at 1 in the ninth. Braves with a 3-1 lead over the Mets, top of the ninth. As Peraza squares around the bunt, and it's a dandy. Forget about it. He is by far the best bunter on this team.
Now the Reds need base runners. Down by 3, getting late into the ball game. They're looking at running out of outs right here, and this is, you know what makes him a good bunter? Look how still he is in the batter's box. And the angle of his bat. The bat is on an angle. He's still, he keeps his head close to the point of impact. And that's basically the reason he's a good bunter. I mean, it's not rocket science, but it takes practice.
That is the 4th bunt hit this season by Peraza. And here's Adam Duvall. Duvall's seen Albers. 1 plate appearance, 1 hit.
That bunt hit by Jose Peraza will put him in the leaderboard of all of baseball. There were a bunch of players that came in tied with 3 bunt hits, so he is beginning to separate himself.
Duvall in a no ball, 2 strikes hole. Not a total shift, but second baseman nearly up the middle. One and 2. Seventh inning or later. Swing and a miss. That is the 3rd time that Duvall has struck out tonight. As part of the Ohio Lottery postgame concert series, Cincinnati's own Walk the Moon will be performing a live concert from the field on Saturday, July 28th. Everyone with a ticket to the Reds game will have the chance to enjoy the show from Walk the Moon. For tickets, visit reds.com/concerts. 5th Reds batter to strike out tonight. 1 out, it's Joey Votto. Votto working on a 1 for 3 night. He had an RBI single back in the 1st. And scored on Eugenio Suarez's 3rd home run of the season. Joey has now reached base safely in his last 16 appearances. First time facing Albers in his career. Braves hold on to beat the Mets, and they're leading 3-1 in the ninth. They'll climb within a half game of the Mets. And we saw this Braves team recently here at Great American Ballpark. They're going to surprise some people this year. They'll move their record to 17-11. Check swing, appeal, no, says Rob Drake.
Albers is a guy that relies mostly on movement, and he always has. In fact, he made his major league debut against the Reds back in 2006 in a ball game that was started for the Houston Astros by Roger Clemens. Wow. And Aaron Harang actually outdueled Clemens that night as the Reds beat the Astros 2-0.
2-0 pitch to Votto. 3-0.
First baseman for the Reds that night was Scott Hatteberg, who gave up that job to Joey Votto.
Certainly did. And the rest is history. It's been number 19 for the duration. And a 4-pitch walk to Votto. So the tying run will come to the plate.
You couldn't ask it for it to set up any better right now for the Reds, because Schebler has seen the ball and has had really good swings on the ball tonight. Last time up, he sent the right fielder all the way to the warning track to haul one in. Hit a sharp line drive in the third inning for a base hit, and just missed a moon deck shot in the first.
Season average sitting on 321. Ball one.
One thing to consider, though, Schebler's a high ball hitter, and Albers is a guy that likes to keep that ball down. So each of them will be going with their strength here.
One 0.
That changeup that he just threw Schebler is his go-to pitch when he faces left-handers. Takes a little bit off the fastball, sinks it, looks like it's going to be right around knee high, and it ends up down around the dirt.
Ground ball. Booting it is RC, and everyone's safe.
Well, Albers gets the ground ball. They hit it to the most talented defensive player in Arcia, and wouldn't you know it, he juggles it for a base hit. Or for an error, I should say, at least a base runner. And now Suarez.
They do score that in air, and he's 6. Yeah. So bases juiced, 1 out for Eugenio Suarez. Big chance for the Reds here. Left center field. Braun got a beat on it, though. This will score a run as Peraza scores on the sacrifice fly RBI. Eugenio Suarez, and the Reds climb a run closer. That'll bring up Tucker Barnhart with 2 outs and 2 on. Rip, but foul.
I mentioned that changeup that Albers throws, and he really reserves it a lot for left-handers. Look at the batting average against. Opposite effectiveness there for Albers. Much better against left-handers than right-handers, at least this year.
They're down to second base, and back head first is Votto.
Reds have already had one major faux pas on the base paths. Don't need another.
Two balls and a strike. Three and one. Council's going to get on the phone. No one warming up right now in the Brewers bullpen. He walked him. Second walk of the inning by Albers. And again, the base is loaded. And I'll bring out Derek Johnson to talk to his right-handed reliever. That is now 6 walks given up by Brewers pitching tonight. You'd like to see the Reds take advantage of it. Only one of the 6 batters that have walked have scored. It was Barnhart back in the 6th. And this has not been a Brewers bullpen that has walked many. You go up and down the line of the numbers of the Brewers bullpen. It's a big part of the reason why the Brewers are 4 games over 500 at the moment.
Be ready to hit if you're Rosell Herrera.
And he is, but he
chased an off-speed pitch that time and popped him up.
Reds strand 3 more. Off to the 8th we go. first inning for each team. Travis Shaw, a 2-run home run. Back-to-back home runs off of Homer Bailey, Jesus Aguilar. But the Reds countered with 3 as Suarez delivers a 2-run home run following a RBI hit by Votto. Ryan Braun, though, one of the biggest hits of this game, a 2-out, 2 RBI double the other way in the 5th off of Bailey. Hernan Perez went down and got one, a solo home run in the 7th. It is a 7-5 game in favor of the Brewers as Amir Garrett is still on the hill for the Reds, and he will face the aforementioned Travis Shaw, Aguilar, Manny Pena here in the top of the 8th. So the Brewers scored 6 last night to win a 1-run game and have plated 7 tonight.
I'm not so sure that Travis Shaw thought that he could suck his chest in that quickly.
Swing and a miss.
Good sequence of pitching right there. If you can come inside like that with Amir Garrett the way he did on that previous pitch and then drop a disappearing slider on him, that's a tough pitch to handle.
That's going to be it for Amir Garrett. Jim Riggleman.
Take a look at the last 2. This one is the one that Shaw had to draw his breath in real quick, and then there's the slider to put him away.
That one would have been a tough one for me to get out of the way of. I would have had to suck in the boiler. That would have been the old HBP for me, hit by pitch. As Riggleman will make the double switch. He'll go get the ball from Amir Garrett. We'll tell you about the replacements on the other side.
Transmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
4th pitcher of the night for Jim Riggleman. It's right-hander Dylan Floro.
He's been a nice surprise for the Reds since they purchased his contract back in April the 13th. He's thrown strikes. He doesn't walk very many batters. He's kept the ball in the ballpark. He has been a relief pitcher that both Brian Price and Riggleman have been able to go to kind of get multiple innings out of.
Making his 7th appearance, a 0.90 ERA. It spans 10 innings. Giving up just 1 earned run. 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. Dylan Floro so far. Alex Blandino, part of the double switch. He's at second base. He'll be batting 8th, which means he'll lead off in the 8th. 1-2 pitch, folding badly.
It's a good looking breaking ball right here by Floro. Starts it right at the corner. By the time it gets there, Aguilar is not going to be able to get to it.
Two out batters, Manny Pena. First pitch strike. Swing and a miss. Domingo Santana on deck for the Brewers should we get there. To pitch, foul back. Reds and Brewers will close out this 3-game set. Another night game here tomorrow night. And Wade Miley has been inserted into the Brewers rotation. Swing and a miss. Nice job by Floro. He comes in and strikes out back-to-back batters. Reds will bat in the 8th, down 2.
Network of the Year. How about that? As part of our appreciation, your Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers are bringing you a great Reds ticket offer for the next 2 series of this homestand. That would be against the Marlins and the Mets. Visit reds.com/FSOhio tonight. And when you buy 1 Fox Sports Club ticket, Toyota will give you 1 free. Offer is good only through the Reds Live post-game, so be sure to log on. Again, that URL is reds.com/FSOhio. Offer only good through tonight. 2 for 1. Gentlemen, take us away.
Can't beat that. We'd love to see you here at Great American Ballpark. As always, come see us, say hello. If not, we always got you covered here on the tube, but nothing like a trip to the yard. New pitcher on for the Brewers. It's right-hander Jacob Barnes.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones. He was in the game last night, Barnes was, for 2/3 of an inning. 14 games now. Very good earned run average, down right around 1. He gives you a little different look than the previous pitcher, Matt Albers. Albers is more of a moving fastball changeup pitcher. Barnes kind of muscles it up there. And he gets a lot of strikeouts, more than 1 per inning so far this year.
I mean, this bullpen for the Brewers, and granted, 1 month plus does not a season make, but they have been outstanding. And last night we saw one of the best relief performances we've ever seen, and truly baseball's ever seen.
I think it was first time in history that happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
The pitcher comes in out of the bullpen, and the last 8 outs where he retired were all by strikeout.
Long drive.
Did he?
Alex Blandino, did he get enough? He did. His first career Major League home run. Game, a night Alex Blandino will never forget. Not only his first home run, but his first extra base hit of his Major League career. Up the middle, base hit. Tying run on first base.
Well, fastball versus a little bit of a quick bat by Alex Blandino. A high, majestic shot that lands up over the fence. And Blandino's got his first ever Major League home run.
All right, let's see what's brewing at first base here. Billy Hamilton was thrown out. Caught stealing for the first time this season earlier in this game. He represents the tying run. Jose Peraza at the plate. A 1 pitch.
I don't think that Barnes has mixed in a slide step yet. And it's very difficult just by looking at the numbers to determine whether a relief pitcher is good at holding the runners on base or not. He gave up 4 stolen bases last year. They caught 1. This year he has given up 1 stolen base. They have not caught any. But just because you're the winning or the tying run at Billy Hamilton, you don't shut the running game down now.
Center field. First out of the inning. And Jim Riggleman is going to make a move here. Adam Duvall has been pulled out of the on-deck circle, and left-hander Jesse Winker will come up.
Well, that means that if Winker is able to do something, the Reds will now have 3 left-handers in a row to face Barnes. Riggleman knows that Josh Hader not available tonight, so he's going to put the pressure on this Brewer bullpen.
Now he does have Dan Jennings and Brent Suter lefties in the pen. But Suter was former starter, just moved to the pen.
Yeah, I'm not so sure they're going to be ready to put him in a high leverage situation.
Saw Jennings here last night. He didn't retire a batter and gave up an earned run. Bringing Winker into this game, a .305 hitter. Doesn't have a home run, but 9 RBIs. He's been a line drive machine. And that on base percentage sitting at .414 for Winker. Tying run at first base, 1 out. Barnes pulling at Chris Welsh.
13 more and he's going to tie the record.
Winker has faced Barnes before, one time, 1 for 1. Now Winker will call timeout.
I can see why. All the throwovers to first base can sometimes be a little distracting to the hitter. He's ready to hit, pitcher throws over. He's ready to hit, pitcher steps off.
Winker usually works the count. If Billy Hamilton is going to steal, it's a good guy at the plate to do so. I'll
tell you what Barnes is doing, and maybe Billy Hamilton is not interested in stealing, but he's not holding the ball very long. He's thrown over a couple of times, and then when he's come to a set, he's getting it and going to the plate. Almost not giving Hamilton a chance to extend that lead.
Into right field, base hit. Hamilton on his way to third base. Tying run 90 feet away.
Boy, this young man can absolutely hit. That pitch is a good pitch by Barnes, a power fastball upstairs. And he just brings his hands in, puts the barrel on the ball, and Billy Hamilton scoots into third base.
And
now the Reds are in business.
Here comes Craig Counsell. He'll make a double switch. Righty Jeremy Jeffress has been warming up for the Brewers. And he will be called upon to face left-hander Joey Votto. First and third, 1 out. Reds trailing by a run. Coming into the game to play right field is Brett Phillips. He will bat 7th and will lead off in the 9th. And going from left field to first base is Ryan Braun. New pitcher on is Jeremy Jeffress in quite the situation.
Yeah, he's a veteran pitcher. Jeffress says he's been around. He's had as many as 27 saves in a year. So he knows what high leverage and tight ball games are all about. A little different twist right here, though, with Joey Votto at the plate and Billy Hamilton at third base.
So Josh Hader, after dazzling them last night, not available to face the lefty Votto. Jeffress against Votto. Votto 1 for 5 in his career. And a first pitch strike. One and one. .96-mile-per-hour heater. Jeffress part of this dynamic bullpen, a 0.64 ERA. One-two pitch to Votto. Strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate. A huge out for Jeffress.
Well, that's about as well placed a fastball as you can put it against Joey Votto. Trying to protect a little bit, just couldn't pull the trigger to try to foul that off. I'm not sure why Manny Pena thought he had to try to frame that by bringing that pitch down. It was right at the top of the zone. Jeffress gets his man, and now 2 outs.
A fly ball by Votto to the outfield would have tied the game, but now it's going to take a base hit, or perhaps a wild pitch, and first pitch swinging is Schebler. Braun to Jeffress and makes the play. Jeremy Jeffress comes in and shuts the door. Off to the 9th we go. Celebrate by purchasing the Star Wars themed ticket package presented by PNC Bank. Get an exclusive Chewie bobblehead and your ticket to see the Reds take on the Marlins. This limited edition bobblehead is only available through this offer. Visit reds.com/themes. Jesse Winker stays in the game. He's in left field. 1-run game in the 9th, and still on the hill for the Reds is right-hander Dylan Floro, and he will face Brett Phillips, who came in defensively, part of that double switch to bring Jeremy Jeffress into the game. And Phillips was just recalled today from AAA Colorado Springs as the Brewers optioned reliever Brandon Woodruff back to AAA. Floro did a nice job in the 8th. Came on 1 out into the inning and struck out both batters he faced, Aguilar and Pena. He continues to do a nice job for this Reds team. Strike 3 call. 3 batters faced, 3 punch outs for Floro.
Dylan Floro is spot on with his control. Look at the backward action on that fastball. Phillips reads it as a ball that'll stay off the plate, and it comes right back in and touches the corner. Dylan was telling me that he just started throwing that pitch, and kind of an experimental pitch for him. Boy, that's
pretty good experiment.
Good so far, yeah. He's always had that slider.
.1-0 pitch to Orlando Arcia. That'll fall in front of Schebler for a base hit. Eighth hit of the night for the Brewers. And that'll bring up Hernan Perez. Perez homered his last time up off of Amir Garrett. Floro trying to keep it at a 1-run game. They're looking ahead to the home half of the 9th. Suarez, Barnhart, Rosell Herrera due up for the Reds. 5, 6, and 7 in the order. Actually, I take that back. That is the pitcher spot. My bad. Rosell Herrera is out of this game, so that'll be the pitcher spot. And most certainly Devin Mesoraco will take that at bat. Jim Riggleman working with a 4-man bench. He's already used Gennett, Winker, Blandino. There goes the runner. Throw down in time. Nice job by Blandino on the back end of that.
Well, a solid job again by Tucker Barnhart behind the plate. Blandino picks it and then is able to get the tag on him. Well, look where that throw is. I mean, Blandino's got a lot of confidence to be able to get down there and be able to pick that short hop instead of reaching out for it and then trying to sweep tag the runner.
Yep.
All right.
Counts 1-1 to Perez. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. Another nice job by Dylan Floro. Last chance for the Reds. Here comes Suarez to the plate. Been brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Toyota. For over 30 offers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. One-run game, 7-6, bottom of the ninth. Jeremy Jeffress still on the hill for the Brewers. Here's Eugenio Suarez. First pitch swinging and a tapper foul. Suarez a 4 RBI night last night. He's got 3 of them tonight. 2-run home run back in the first. A sacrifice fly RBI last time up. Season average sitting at .333. He is 0 for 6 in his career off of Jeremy Jeffress. Vaunted 1-run games this season. Brewers 7-4, Reds 1-7. Drive into center field. Going and getting it is Kane, 1 out. Hard hit ball. But an atom ball. Check us out 30 minutes before every Reds broadcast. It's Reds Live, the pregame edition. As always, brought to you by Ray St. Clair Roofing. First look at the lineups, interviews, features, Tom's Tidbits, Tech Talk, and more here on Fox Sports Ohio. Luis Castillo v. Wade Miley tomorrow night. Reds Live at 6:30. Here's Tucker Barnhart. Barnhart 1 for 4 in his matchups with Jeffress. Two outs.
Boy, 2 hard hit balls to start the inning off.
Yep.
The Reds have nothing to show for it.
Last chance for the Reds, at least down to their final out, and Devin Mesoraco, last man off the bench for Jim Riggleman. Mesoraco has faced Jeffress one time, 0 for 1. One-0 pitch. Breaking ball. 1-1. Past Jeffress, going to be a tough play. Arcia makes it.
Well, it's very close at first. The Reds are trying to hold up the umpire crew to see if Mesoraco perhaps beat that throw. But I don't think that's going to happen.
6-3 on the putout. As for back-to-back nights, the Reds fall by a run to the Brewers. And as we promised earlier in the game, time for the Miller Lite Hold True moment. You better believe Alex Blandino, despite the loss, will hold true to this moment. His first big league home run, it came in the 8th inning. A solo shot. The Reds fall short here tonight. Lose back-to-back games to the Brewers. Reds Live, the post-game edition, is right around the corner here on Fox Sports Ohio.